and spooky. They're all together ooky, the Addams Family. Their house is a museum. When people come to see them, they really are a scream, the Addams Family.
Neat. Sweet. Petite.
So get a witch's shawl on, a broomstick you can crawl on. We're gonna pay a call on the Addams Family.
What you're about to watch is a news parody. Its stories are not fact-checked, its reporters are not real journalists, and its opinions are not fully thought through.
Coming up on the Red Report, it's the end of the semester, which means... Wait, hold on. Yes. Okay, we have just received some breaking news regarding USD's president. I don't really feel like telling you now, so stick around and we'll tell you later. Maybe.
Hello, I'm Cassidy Cornell.
And I'm Nathan Finster. We'll get to those stories and more, but first...
One classic holiday TV special is being taken off the air after ABC's Monday night broadcast of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Hundreds of people called into stations across the country to complain that Santa Claus was being a bully to Rudolph. One Sioux Falls resident says that children shouldn't be subjected to negative behaviors. An Iowa caller says the program promotes animal cruelty because Santa never asks the deer to pull his sleigh. He just demands it. And he refused to let Rudolph play in any reindeer games. Following the success of the Macklemore concert in October, CAB setting their sights on bringing another big name to campus. Taylor Swift is reportedly eyeing Vermilion as a stop on her Reputation tour. While Vermilion isn't the most populated city in South Dakota, Swift says it has the best people. When asked if she considered a concert in Brookings, Swift said, "No thank you, I have standards." And those are your headlines. Well, Devin, what's the rest of the week looking like for weather?
Well, it looks like those doomsday scientists were actually right about something. It's the end of days coming on Saturday. But first, for the remainder of today, it'll be partly cloudy with a high near 79. Winds will also become south winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour, and the low will reach around 76 in degrees. So I would take advantage of the weather today because it'll be unpleasant for the next couple of days. And for tomorrow, the movement toward the end of days will actually start to progress. The high will be around 89 degrees, and the low will reach around 75. So everyone, go take a beach day and relax, and please make sure to call your family because there will be an 100% chance of a meteor shower on Friday with temperatures in the upper 90s. And lastly, Saturday will give you, well, nothing. The world is ending, so this leads to my fun fact of the day. Just enjoy life because you only have just a good 3 days to live it, and that's your coyote weather.
The USD Medical School has been recognized as the best med school in the nation by former U.S. President Barack Obama. He says that the school is, quote, the program most likely to produce doctors that cure every disease ever. In addition, Obama has recognized the USD Law School as the best law school in the nation. The former president says the program is, quote, the most likely to produce lawyers that win every case ever. Meanwhile, SDSU's agricultural school has been recognized as an agricultural school. Obama had comments on this recognition as well, saying, quote, SDSU has an agricultural program.
The Board of Regents continues the search process for USD's next president. Since announcing his retirement 2 months ago, students have been wondering what President Abbott's future holds. I talked with him last week about his plans once he leaves campus.
Jim Abbott has been president of USD for nearly 20 years. However, he now has his eyes focused on an even bigger accomplishment, the White House.
I am very pleased to announce today that I am running for President of the United States of America in 2020.
For his running mate, President Abbott decided to pick someone that the entire campus knows.
Charlie Coyote.
In the event that Abbott wouldn't be able to complete his term in office, he says that Charlie Coyote would make a great president of the United States.
Well, I think he'd probably do very well because I actually think a president who keeps his or her mouth shut might not be such a bad idea.
Abbott says that he wants to change everything the current president has done in the office, which is why he created his campaign slogan,
Everything for everyone.
With South Dakota being a hunting state, One of President Abbott's plans is to make rabbit hunting season year-round.
It isn't now? Oh, gosh, I've been shooting them right and left. Yeah, I think 365. That's a good idea.
Abbott says that right now the education system is too hard and stressful for students. He says he has plans to make it easier for students to succeed.
I think all students should get straight A's.
He also says that college is too expensive.
I think all tuition should be free.
So when you go out and vote in 2020, don't be surprised if you see Jim Abbott's name on the ticket.
For more information on President Abbott's presidential race, you can go to his campaign website, www.everythingforeveryone.com.
Coming up, if you're still undecided about what you want your major to be, USD has just solved all your problems by combining the two. We tell you more after the break.
What you're about to watch is a news parody. Its stories are not fact-checked, its reporters are not real journalists, and its opinions are not fully thought through.
Earlier this semester, Coyote News brought you a three-part series about GAF funding and where your money really goes. The Red Report has just been informed of some breaking news. The SGA has just passed a bill to build a spa in the Wellness Center, and both students and community members will be able to use the new facilities. It's not official yet, but an anonymous SGA source has told us that the spa will offer 2 hot tubs, 1 sauna, as well as 5 private massage rooms, and they'll be hiring 7 to 9 masseuses. Construction on the new spa begins in January. It's expected to be completed in 2020.
Wasting your college education on parties and illegal substances? USD's new degree will help you not disappoint your parents. In response to the internet-obsessed adolescent population, USD is now offering a degree in meme studies. The university cites living in a meme-based world as motivation for their decision. Courses such as Memes 101 are currently being offered to those students.
Well, when I first heard about the degree, I was like, yeah, get me in that. Memes are life. I wanted to make an impact in this world and keep the meme culture alive, and now I can do that.
The entry-level course is structured and comprehensive, covering topics such as meme history and analyzation of memes, leaving students with plenty of knowledge for real-life application.
I could list off thousands of memes right now. SpongeBob, Kermit the Frog, Dat Boy. But I think the dark Kermit, light Kermit one, that one really rings true for me.
If you're interested in meme studies as a major or minor, you can talk to your advisor.
The seasonal epidemic known as cramming is again upon us. Even if students were vaccinated, they're still feeling the effects. Many of the students who have fallen victim to cramming are staying up all night to study for their finals. This has resulted in a widespread outbreak of students falling asleep in strange places across campus.
I didn't always cram for finals, but once I started, I just couldn't stop. Now I'm falling asleep everywhere.
Other side effects of cramming are bloodshot eyes, isolation, crying, and hopelessness. Officials encourage that if you encounter a student who's fallen victim to cramming, get them a caffeinated drink as soon as possible. Still to come, along with students studying for classes this semester, one USD student has been learning the ancient art of flirting. We check in with his progress after the break. Stay with us.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and I hear that the Coyote News team is in need of a new anchorman. And old Papa Burgundy thought it'd be a good idea to stop on by and give you some tips on how you can be just like me. Ron Burgundy. Step 1, brush your hair 400 times a day. And I'm not talking about 400 individual strokes of the mane. I'm talking about 40-hour-long sessions of giving your hair some tender love and care. Step 2, have a big burly mustache. And I know some will say, oh, but Ron, I'm a woman. I can't grow a mustache. Well, that's bull, okay? To all the women of the world, I say, yes, you can grow a mustache. They have pills for that, I think. Step 3, sleep your way to the top. Man, woman, he, she, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're into. I once hooked up with a woman named Greg. Step 4, remember to keep your chin up and never look down to see what diseases you may have contracted from sleeping with all those people. Step number 5, always stay classy.
Or you can just be yourself.
What you're about to watch is a news parody. Its stories are not fact-checked, its reporters are not real journalists, and its opinions are not fully thought through.
Campus eating choices are changing next semester. The USD Marketing Department, together with admissions, is canceling contracts with the current fast food restaurants located in the Muck, as the Red Report's Zavinik Shudovics reports.
Due to the decrease of students being skilled enough to cook their own meal later on in their lives, USD decided to knock out all the places where students get their food already prepared.
Well, the idea for the self-service dining came as a result of the fact that our students simply aren't prepared to enter their personal lives with any sort of domestic skills. They don't know how to cook. They certainly don't know how to clean.
Lately, some lazy students don't even bother to wait in line and pick their food. They use their cell phones to order food and just stop by and pick it up. This service, called Tap and Go, is about to be ended as well.
And so we think it's just another opportunity for students to learn, to kind of embrace the process of becoming an adult, and we're really excited about it.
All types of vending machines are also being removed at the end of this semester, as they also offer prepared food.
And so we thought the self-help dining would help them transition in college, where they would still be able to get help from some of the professionals that would still be in the dining hall, and help them cook, healthy meals that we think are more representative of how, the rest of their life is going to go.
The program, called Self-Help Dining, is going to replace all the dining places with public kitchens for students. For the Red Report, I'm Zbigniew Surowiec.
Marketing and admissions officials recommend students start practicing in dorm kitchens, as well as using the semester break to gain at least some minimal cooking skills.
Bye-bye, Charlie. Since Charlie is leaving to help with President Abbott's campaign, USD's just announced that they're looking for a new mascot. There's no word yet on who's going to replace him, but there's a rumor going around that SDSU's Jack the Jackrabbit hates it in Brookings and wants to come here. He even said that he'd be willing to go through thousands of dollars worth of cosmetic surgery if he can have the job. The first surgery planned is a procedure to fix Jack's ears.
If you're headed on a winter trip and are ashamed with how you look because of the freshman 50, don't sweat it. The Wellness Center is now promoting a new weight challenge. Only this time, it's about who can put on the most weight. The Wellness Center is starting up the biggest gainer program with a pasta eating challenge that'll be hosted on December 32nd.
Fraternity members have a reputation of being flirts, but as our investigation discovered, not all members are naturals. As the Red Report's Caitlin Ryan found out, fraternity member Josh Latsley has an unusual female phobia.
In high school, Josh had no competition when it came to girls and not a worry in the world. Now, being in a fraternity, his flirting skills don't quite compare to others.
The Red Report came to interview Josh about his phobia, but we really didn't think this through.
Come on, Josh, it's just a girl. You got this. Open up, man. Come on, Josh.
After some convincing from his fraternity brothers, Josh finally came out of his room.
Got to college, and it was just a whole different story. I tried talking to girls with all these guys in the fraternity, and I just can't talk to girls.
Josh's friends give weekly lessons on how to talk to girls. Some of the advice includes wearing khakis and no crying. After many failed attempts at flirting with a girl, his fraternity brothers spoke out on what he may be doing wrong.
It's all about vibes, man. I try to tell Josh all the time,
you put out good vibes, you'll get some good vibes back. But he just goes up like really intensely, like he's looking for like the love of his life.
Josh observes his brothers flirting with girls and wonders how they make them laugh, and he even secretly takes notes.
He gets nowhere, and it just ends with him crying. I'm pretty sure he was crying like 5 minutes ago. He'll be crying 5 minutes from now. It needs to stop. I don't know what to do. He's got to be okay with himself, and I mean, hopefully we can help him get there. But I don't know how much I have left in me to teach him. He's got to learn at some point.
Even though teaching Josh how to flirt is a long and hard process, his brothers have faith that he will eventually get it.
I got this!
For the Red Report, I'm...
To help you practice your flirting, you can download apps such as Tinder and Bumble.
Does the pressure of college stress you out and slow you down? One student has decided to take action by spiking all of the yacht floats with speed.
The Red Report's Rachel Neuville is live in the muck with yacht float enthusiast Ken Kemphoff.
Thanks, Nathan. I'm here live at CAB's weekly Yacht Floats activity, where students have been getting a little extra rowdy. So, could you tell me a little bit about your decision to give students an extra pep in their step on Tuesdays?
Yeah, I just really thought Mondays are horrible, and Tuesdays really aren't that much better. So I was like, why don't we give them a little extra energy for the day? So I just figured no one's gonna know, it'll be fine, and no one's found out so far until now.
Have students been pretty receptive and excited about this new yacht float?
Oh, they just keep on coming through the line. I can't get them to go away, and they're even happier every time they come through.
And the university and CAB haven't said anything?
No, I've seen some UPD officers maybe walking around a little bit, but I haven't been tackled, I haven't been stopped, so I'm just going to keep doing what I do.
Thanks. Live in the muck for the Red Report, I'm Rachel Neuville.
Well, it's about time they did that. My goodness.
I'm going to have to stop by and get some of those yacht floats to get through finals.
I'll probably need like 5.
Well, we better get to sports because I know Nathan just is dying to get to sports.
Every
week
sports.
He's so excited.
Yep.
So we'll go to sports. We'll have a story on an athlete who is changing sports. That and more next in sports.
Stay hazy.
What you're about to watch is a news parody. Its stories are not fact-checked, its reporters are not real journalists, and its opinions are not fully thought through.
Tonight on Red Report Sports, the soccer team hires a new coach, and we talk to an athlete who's quitting her sport to play a new one. But first, the headlines with Devin Martin.
The University of Nebraska has decided to cancel its football program. The decision comes after another disappointing season where the Huskers finished 4-8. They already fired coach Mike Riley and were considered for a new one. However, no one wanted to coach the underachieving Huskers. Even former star Nebraska quarterback Scott Frost refused to return to the program, saying that he's embarrassed by the lack of wins. The Big Ten Conference issued a statement saying, quote, "Thank goodness," end quote. This season, the Las Vegas Golden Knights were the newest team to join the expansion of the NHL. Because of their successful season thus far, the NHL has decided that they're expanding further with South Dakota. A board of 10 people are scouting the country to play on the new Sioux Falls Tornadoes next season. The NHL worked out a deal, and the team's expected to play in the Denny Sanford Premier Center. And those are your headlines.
2 weeks ago, USD announced the addition of a women's triathlon team. Coyote News' Lauren Solik is live in the studio to talk about what other teams' athletes think about the new sport. Lauren?
The university's decision to add a women's triathlon team has created so much buzz that athletes from other teams have decided to try out for the new sport. I caught up with one of those athletes.
I'm here with swimmer Charlie Meckling to talk about her decision to try out. So Charlie, what led you to decide to want to try out for the team?
Well, I'm already on the swim team, and I love running, and I love biking, so they all seem to fit well together.
And so what do you think your training will look like going into the tryouts?
Swimming will probably stay the same. I'm definitely going to amp it up on the running, definitely amp it up on the biking, but besides that, it shouldn't be too different.
And what do you think your biggest strengths and weaknesses will be?
My biggest strength is definitely the swimming part. The running, not so hot. It'll be a rough one, and the biking should be okay.
Awesome, thanks, Charlie.
For new triathletes will begin next semester, so if you're skilled in running, biking, and swimming, you can give the exciting sport a try. Back to you, Devin.
Thanks, Lauren. USD isn't the only team in the state preparing for a game this week. SDSU is scheduled to host Northern Iowa in the second round of the playoffs on Saturday. However, so many of their players were out with cramps that they may have to forfeit. The players sustained the cramping injuries in the season finale here against USD. Coach Stiglmeyer blamed the water in the Dakota Dome for causing the cramps. Even though not a single USD player suffered from cramping during the game, nor has it been an issue the entire season. Even if the Jacks are able to field a team, make sure you tune into the USD game against Sam Houston State, because that's the only game that actually matters. The USD soccer team's coaching search has finally ended, and they've hired a familiar face. Former USD football player and coach Joe Glenn has been named the new head soccer coach. The move comes as a surprise to many Coyote fans because Glenn has never coached or even played soccer. Glenn says he was bored with retirement, so he's very excited to coach the women's soccer team. He says that even though he doesn't know much about soccer, he's confident that he can motivate the team to succeed by singing the fight song at every practice and before every game. Earlier this semester, the university announced plans to renovate the Dakota Dome. What they didn't say was that they wanted the renovations done by Christmas. Athletic Director David Herbster reached out to Ty Pennington and his crew from Extreme Makeover Home Edition to complete the renovation in record time. The renovations were finished Monday, and a private grand opening was held last night. The public wasn't informed of the unveiling, so there were no Vermilion community members or USD students at the event. But there were a handful of celebrities there to view the new improved stadium. Those in attendance included Bobby Boucher, Elmo, and the ghosts of former U.S. presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Teddy Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. Earlier, we talked with a swimmer, Charlie Meckling, about her plans to join the new USD triathlon team. We've since learned that her training isn't going as well as she hoped. She says she has the swimming portion nailed, but is struggling with the biking and running legs. Meckling says she doesn't own a bike and she doesn't even remember how to ride one, so she's hoping that bicycles on the floor will be enough training for the biking portion. As for running, she says she's been in the water for so long that she doesn't even remember how to run, so she's grabbing inspiration from YouTube videos. Meckling confessed to us that while she wishes the triathlon activities consisted of backstrokes, butterflies, and breaststrokes, she's still going to give it her all once the tryouts begin. And that's a look at sports. Coming up after the break, we asked students around campus how they feel about the announcement that President Abbott is running in the 2020 presidential election. Their answers are next.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and I hear that the Coyote News team is in need of a new anchorman. And old Papa Burgundy thought it'd be a good idea to stop on by and give you some tips on how you can be just like me, Ron Burgundy. Step 1, brush your hair 400 times a day. And I'm not talking about 400 individual strokes of the mane. I'm talking about 40-hour-long sessions of giving your hair some tender love and care. Step 2, have a big burly mustache. And I know some will say, oh, but Ron, I'm a woman. I can't grow a mustache. Well, that's bull. Okay? To all the women of the world, I say, yes, you can grow a mustache. They have pills for that, I think. Step 3, sleep your way to the top. Man, woman, he, she, it doesn't matter. Whatever you're into. I once hooked up with a woman named Greg. Step 4, remember to keep your chin up and never look down to see what diseases you may have contracted from sleeping with all those people. Step number 5, always stay classy.
Or you can just be yourself.
What you're about to watch is a news parody. Its stories are not fact-checked, its reporters are not real journalists, and its opinions are not fully thought through.
Earlier, we broke the news that President Abbott's launching his presidential election campaign, and students are already reacting.
But I think it'd be better if he just took a break from public life for a little bit.
I would definitely vote for him. I love him.
I mean, better than Trump?
I think anyone could be better than the current president, but I don't know.
Apparently anyone can do it, so good luck.
Are you serious? I feel like you're joking.
Oh, he better win. I hope he wins.
Legit. Okay, that's actually crazy.
I think he should go for it.
I feel like he'd be a good president. Like, it's interesting.
Really? Wow, I would vote for him. Oh, wow. Okay, that's really funny.
I think he's got leverage over Kanye. Abbott 2020.
Okay, I would certainly vote for him. He would make a phenomenal president.
Yeah, I think it's going to be between him and Kanye. I think it'll be a tight race.
He's got my vote, especially with Charlie as his running mate. I mean,
Yeah.
that seals the deal for me.
For sure. And if you were going to pick up a copy of the Volant today, don't bother. Once again, the staff has decided to make the usual 2-day weekend into a 4-day event. So look for a print issue next week, but in the meantime, check them out online.
That's all for the Red Report. Don't forget to like Coyote News on Facebook and follow them on Twitter and Instagram.
And if you think this looks easy, auditions for Coyote News are Wednesday, December 6th. Check for the campus calendar for more information.
And as you can see, it's not that easy, but you can do it.
No, it's not.
And remember, this isn't real news, it's the Red Report. Thank you, and they'll see you next semester.